We're going to see a no-frills budget on Tuesday night as the Albanese government seeks to deliver its election commitments, wipe out some of the former coalition programs and give Australians an idea of some of the challenges ahead. As revealed by Sky News during the week, the budget paints a positive enough picture of declining deficits in 2022-23 and 24-25 before inflation comes off, and so, says the government, does commodity prices. So, higher deficits as we go forward. As recently as April, when the pre-election Treasury statement came down, inflation was predicted to be 3% this financial year. Now it's going to be forecast to be 5.75%, with a predicted peak of 7.75% before it slowly comes down. And the inflation predicted for 23-24 is 3.5%. Unemployment will be forecast to rise back up to 4.5% from its 3.5% level. And there will be $3 billion set aside in the contingency reserve of the budget just to deal with an increasing number of natural disasters, with floods in 4 eastern states expected to extend through to December at least. Sky News can reveal this morning that despite talk by the Labor government of lifting wages, including through industrial relations reform legislation to be introduced this week, the predictions in the budget will include a lift in wages foreshadowed in July from 3.25% to 3.75% for the next 2 years, but a downgrade after that because of a prediction of a weaker labour market and weaker growth. So in March, we got a 22-23 budget from Josh Frydenberg. In October, we're going to get a replacement 22-23 budget from Jim Chalmers. And we'll talk to Treasurer Jim Chalmers about this later in the program. But one area the government has indicated it's keen to make savings in the May budget is the NDIS, after an $8.8 billion blowout over 4 years in this budget. That's a massive blowout in just 7 months since the figures estimated in Josh Frydenberg's 22-23 budget. And I spoke to NDIS Minister Bill Shorten about this last week.
What we need to do is make sure the states are doing their fair share. I think you go to one of the big issues. As I said, there's internal cost drivers, there's external challenges that there are not enough services outside the scheme. But you're right, the state-federal relationship in the scheme is not what I think it should be. It's been put to me that the NDIS can be used to help someone sail a boat or go and have sex with a prostitute. Now, I'm sure these are the exception, not the rule, but isn't there some tightening you can do in these areas? Well, first of all, you're talking about what I think are a very small number of matters where there's controversy, but I do think that we need to tighten up what invoices are paid for. When I've come in, I've been surprised and frankly staggered at the lack of scrutiny about invoices that come in the back door. And this morning, the government has announced the extension of paid parental leave to couples earning up to $350,000 a year. It was previously a singles income test of $156,000. This is similar to a coalition policy in their last budget. $1 billion has also been announced for defence recruitment and an expansion of the Defence Force.